During the summer of my 7th grade year, I would ride my dad's John Deere Gator around our 2-acre house in the summertime. Our house had a huge yard with horses that would run around in the tall grass that made them look like they didn't have legs. The Gator was a farm utility vehicle that we used to haul equipment around the property, or just ride it around for fun. It was loud and sounded like an old diesel truck with yellow seats and yellow wheels, which made it look unique and colorful. It also had a black roof that made it nice and cool to ride in the hot summer days, and a glass windshield to prevent dust and water from hitting your face. This was the first thing I ever drove by myself, without my parents' guidance. I was confident driving it because it was slow and it was at a speed I felt comfortable controlling. It only had 3 gears, which made it easy to drive. It had park, drive, and reverse. For a beginner, it was easy to remember what each gear does. I remember running errands for my dad when he needed something from the garage, like tools, hardware, or materials. I would put them in the back of the green metal box, which it had attached to the end just like a regular truck. At the time, I thought it was the coolest thing I've ever done because not too many kids get to drive at that age. Later that year, my 2 best friends, Angel and Gustavo, came over. They came over to my house to hang out and give them a ride on the Gator. My friends have never ridden in one or seen one in person, so they were excited to ride one. I remember Angel talking about it all the way to my house. He was really excited to see it. Once we got to the house, we all headed to the garage, running like wild animals to get on the Gator. It only had 2 seats with metal bars on each side of the seat to hold on to. And it was 3 of us, so they each took turns and I would give each one of them a ride. After giving them a few rides around the house, we decided to all get in, so both of my friends were sitting on the same seat. Angel ended up sitting on the metal bar and on the seat. So as we were riding down the little dirt road, Angel decided to stand up so he could get a better position on his seat. As he was doing that, we hit a bump on the dirt road that made the Gator jump up in the air. The bump was so violent that it made Angel fall out the Gator, just like if he was in an action movie when the guy jumps out before the car goes off the cliff. Even I caught air in my seat, and I was wearing my seatbelt. After realizing what just happened, me and Gustavo were in shock. Then my adrenaline kicked in, so I hit the brakes as fast as possible. My heart was beating fast because I didn't know if I ran him over or he just fell. We both hopped out to help Angel. When we got to him, he had blood gushing out around his knees, elbow, and hands. Gustavo and I helped Angel back up by picking him up by his legs and arms and carried him up to the bed of the Gator, which wasn't a good idea because he could fall out again. But at the same time, we were far from my house to get to my mom. We then raced back to my house. Once I get to the main gate behind my house, I went up all the way to the back of the door of my house. I drove through the grass and sidewalk. I then put the Gator in park and turned it off and rushed inside to my house to get to my mom. My mom was in her room talking to someone on the phone. I bust through the door and yell out that Angel fell out and he is hurt. My mom then hangs up the phone and follows me outside, where she saw Angel in the bed of the Gator crying and his shorts all stained from the blood. We then carried him to the living room onto the couch. My mom then ran to the bathroom and got the first aid kit to stop the bleeding. At this point, I'm scared, sad, and nervous because I never wanted to hurt any of my friends. I felt like it was my fault because I told him it was okay for all 3 of us to get on. At the same time, I thought I really hurt my friend, thinking he won't be able to walk again or have scars for the rest of his life. But at the end of the day, he was fine. He just had a few scratches. Now when Angel comes over to my house and sees the old dusty Gator that we once used to ride on, we look back and laugh. After years of the accident, I still felt it was my fault. But as you grow older, you find out that it's impossible for you to be able to control or predict the future. As you grow older and you become wiser, you intend to make better decisions based on the past and experience you go through.